Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore, not continuing on Coffee's route. We got our tragic end, very tragic end, last time. We are going to do all the other bad ends. You know, the ones where we die tragically, but they're not tragic, but I can kind of understand why that last one was that's the tragic end for the game, Jesus. A lot went on. But we're going to get all of our bad ends. So I've loaded up our first save file, and we are going to get our first dead end, which is redacted, by the way. It's for boop, 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 boops. Is that, Liam? Because it's 4 blocks, and this is where we are getting the work order, and the work order came from Dahut to ask us to help Nadia. And we're going to consider the consequences, and that's going to lead us to our first dead end. So anyway, consider the consequences. That was bad. I like how it does that, and you're like, to be honest, I wanted to help Eve and the girl from the work order, but was it really okay for Death to go near a hospital patient? Uncle may be suppressing my power, but I worried about the effect I would have on a girl in poor condition. I ended up staying quiet for a moment, unable to respond immediately to the request, and I'm sorry, Eve. Would you mind if I took a little time to think about it? Although I was hesitant to decide, Eve and Adolphe both responded with kindness and support. And then I got stabbed. By the end of the night, we couldn't come up with any other ideas to ask for help with the curse. Adolphe needed to go back out for the night patrol, and Unco said it would be... Unco said he... Okay, I'm like, there's missing. And Unco said he would be momentarily visiting Hades to attend to some business. Before they left, they both told me not to leave the house, so I ended up going to bed by myself. Both of my boyfriends are gone tragic. I could still remember the joy that my beloved and I felt on the day of on the day our dear child was born. Okay, we're Salome in our dream now. I'm so glad you were born safely, our one and only precious child. Thank you for working so hard, darling. Oh, thank you for working so hard, darling. You're a much stronger person than I will ever be. I may be in poor health, but I swear that I'll fight to the best of my ability to protect... Oh no, that's probably him still. I may be in poor health, but I swear that I'll fight to the best of my ability to protect you and our child. And that's right. We must decide on a name for the baby. I actually have one in mind after discussing it with the Claude family. I do hope you like it too. It means strong will in the outside world. Beautiful name in honor of the strength you've given our son. Liam. We know what it is. Liam. Liam was our child. His and mine. So why did I leave my child behind? I must go and see him right away. I'm sure my poor lonely child is still waiting for me to come and take him away from that place. Like how they redact the name and that's why it's redacted, but we know. But at this point in the game, you wouldn't, and you're like, huh, where was I? This was no time for me to be sleeping. I needed to go and find my precious Liam. He must be so lonely. I'm filling in the name because we know what the name is, but it's redacted every time. You know that in case you're, like, multitasking. I must go and find him now. The screen is completely glitching. On purpose, the game is doing it. I must save him from them. The memories that lay dormant in my genes were screaming. Okay, so this would be an interesting bad end to have gotten earlier, and then you're like, wait, what? I went to the place that knew no sleep, as if being guided by an awakened memory of unknown origin. Hey, what are you doing here at this hour? Hey, listen! Only those with authorization are allowed to go past here into... Shut up. Huh? What a knife? What are you... She stabbed... Not get in the way of our reunion. Interesting. I left the man on the ground and continued onward, only to be greeted by men wearing a different uniform. Freeze! Drop your weapon and surrender now! Why, you dare to trespass onto the castle of the noble royal family of Arpachel? Noble? Was he referring to those despicable, foolish royals? My genes and memories were slowly shifting from Spacey's to someone else's. Don't make me laugh. I could hear the voice inside my mind sneering at the notion. None of you are worthy of becoming king. It's my child's birthright. Return my child to me at once. Return him alive. If you cannot, pay with your filthy, miserable lives. Pay for taking my child away from me. It didn't matter if I had no chance of winning. Whether they shot me with their bows and arrows or ripped me open with their swords, I would never stop biting back with my knife. Who's screaming? I killed a well-dressed man who came in response to the commotion. Oh. Huh? What am I doing here? Where are Rodolphe and... I was planning on telling the two of them in the morning that we were going to work together to break the curse. But the idea slowly began to slip away from me, along with the blood spilling from my body. I was like, how'd she survive that long? Stabbing all those people. I did it. I finally had my revenge. The only thing left now is... leave the rest to me. You just go to sleep now. Within my thoughts as Spacey was another voice that spoke to me as I took my last breath. Ah, Christine. What you doing, bird? Yeah, okay. Alright. Now we load save file 2, which is this one. Wait. No. Oh, no. Okay, it's going back to my okay. That was that one. That's this one. Okay. Okay. Adolphe! Cyan and Mathis have died. If we don't do something now, Cyan, Mathis, and everyone else would have died for nothing. The plan was for us to work together so we can uncover the truth behind the curse, right? Oh no, okay, so it's not like I haven't thought about what they died for. But I'm prioritizing you over those who aren't with us anymore. That said, prioritizing you also includes your wishes. Okay. So this is Despair End. Kill me. Fun times. So is this right when Anko went out to find the book and we were talking about them and now Lucas is here and yeah, okay. Alright, so yeah, Lucas was here, has Anko's head in a bag. Now we're here being tortured by the royal family. Okay. Ah, yes, because interesting. We now go to is this the one you can I don't know. I don't remember if it's this one or the other one. I know someone told me a long time ago that I was super far fucking ahead that you can like skip to the next choice. And I don't remember if it's this game or the other one, but whatever. Just it's too late at this point. Let's save Anko and Adolphe. Okay, that's true because that choice. Let's escape together. Dad, I trusted you. Oh my god. That's gonna be fun when we get to that point. Besides, give us a little refresh. Okay, here we go. Capucine, being the twat that he is. As always. And you never know when... I mean, I think it would go to the next... Is this one? No, I mean... No quick load data. Okay. No, that's auto. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. There's one that does it, but I don't know which fucking button it is if it is this one. Maybe it's the, Joy-Con thingy. I don't know. Whatever, we're just skipping through it. Because, like, otherwise it'll be, like, 2 minutes. Although, to be fair, stabbing everyone was not a fast ending for you know, just a quick little death. So, hey, we got time. We do have 5 tragic ends. Or 4. The 5th save that we make might be for the salvation end, so. There's a Dolphin. Oh, confessing his feelings. Oh, him telling us his backstory. Then we're gonna be like, I need to think about if I love you. Instead of just telling you that I love you, but that just makes the tragic end even more tragic, right? Because poor Adolphe just wants to know if you love him or not. If you ever could see yourself loving him. I need some time to think is the same thing we do. Try to stop. It's funny because Cyan and Mathis have died, and then maybe the try and stop him is the like last choice that gets us dead. So that's just the combination of those two. Maybe I don't know what that one is. I can't remember that choice, but Unco's head in a jar. It's my head in a jar. It's not his dick in a box. You're like, okay. And this is where we get the backstory of everyone. But they still technically didn't tell us in this. They told us about Jean making a homunculus, but they didn't specifically go like, oh, that's Mathis, by the way. He ain't a real boy. I guess they were leaving. I mean, we know as the player, but were they just leaving it up to the rest of us to figure out? Because, like, you know, we ain't good at puzzles because we don't know what they are, so. And then not being like, oh, Jean is actually Camille. He's not really dead. And Mathis's whole thing about killing people is pointless because his brother ain't dead. So his vengeance is futile. And that's poor Mathis is like, I'm very confused. But I do like how they're like, we'll go rescue Rosalie and live happily ever after. And you're like, I mean, except for the fact that Dahl blew up half the country. Maybe they survived, but then on Calfe lit everything on fire. And so they're all dead now. He killed them. Anko killed everyone. Like, you know? And at the same time, you're like, I mean, you can't be mad at him for it. Try and stop him. Okay. No, I won't have you suffer again all alone. I tried to take Anko's hand, but he quickly moved away. Do not worry, dear princess. I will not fail and worry you again like before. It does seem he has matured now. Having him look after you should be... And then this is where, okay, and the water comes through, chops Adolphe's hands off. They get swept away. I get kidnapped by the Lucas clone. And okay, now let's see. Now let's see how we get our despair and kill me. Okay, so he blew up a little hole here. Then he's like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna kill everybody. Maybe. This could be like, I mean, this goes through a lot to change. Just a slight little different ending. Let's see, is this? No, I don't know if this one has a skippy function because I just tried the little thing. It really, I can't, I mean, I don't know which button does it. Maybe it's not this one. Because it's not the plus button. It's not either one of the right triggers. It's not the Joy-Con. I know the other Joy-Con is to see your prior, like, the log, so. I don't know. If it is one, it's not working. Or I'm just dumb and hit every button but that one. Is back. Is it X? No, that's the menu. Huh. I wonder, actually. Button. Toggle right on main menu. Quick save, quick load, auto. Skip to choice. I did that, though. Oh, because there's no more choices. That's why. There's no more choices. Okay. Because I'm like, I clicked the right button. I'm clicking the right stick up and down and all around. Oh, jump to the next. That's really weird. I'm doing it up and down. You have to click it to the right. I never would have done that. Okay. Huh. All right. That's just weird. Because, like, I would not, like, anytime we've jumped to choices, it's you click a button or the Joy-Con up or down, not I'm clicking it to the right to, like, flip the page. That's so randomly weird. Also, skipping through the text, I feel like would have taken just as long. It's not like this goes any faster, to be fair. Um, so I feel like it was mentioned, like, oh, because then it's easier than sitting here skipping through, but skipping through takes just as much time as that. Plus, now I'm like, well, where the fuck are we in the sense of that? I'd rather just skip through, unless we're going to a choice. Yeah, because it just straight skips. I don't want naughty. Yeah, so I have no idea where we are now. But anyway, Anko's saying, why you? I think we were in the thing, probably. Yeah, skipping was better. It's better to skip through the text so I know what the fuck is going on. If we're skipping, like I said, if we're skipping from choice to choice, that's fine. That makes sense because you're like, okay, the choice is what matters. But now I'm like, oh. Before Uncle could move, Adolphe drew out his sword and decapitated Dalit. Okay. A rain of blood fell from the air and his head slowly rolled next to Salome as if reaching out to her. Adolphe, you... Mission accomplished. Let's meet up with Cyan. Even if he can't fully heal Spacey, I'm sure he'll be able to find a way to get her through this alive. Okay, so we must have already been in the tank, poisoned, and everything. Understood. I'll carry my Sister Salome on my back. It didn't matter if the citizens were screaming in despair. They decided to leave Nadia in the hands of Eve and the others who would probably come here once the toxins thinned. They carried Spacey, limp as a doll, and Salome, who was now dead, out of the laboratory. Okay, so... But is there another... Was this the second? Yeah, okay, I don't like the skipping the thing because now I have no idea. He already put us in the thing. He blew up the people and released the toxins. Mother probably stabbed him, whatever, and his clone came out, and now I'm assuming we're saying we chopped off the head of his clone or something because he had a clone. So... Or I guess we're not supposed to think about that. Well, whatever. Their eyes were not tainted by resignation yet. Yes, even if... Look, Spacey, I know you probably can't see very well, but we're back home. This bed here is yours from now on. Even if Spacey herself had already given up hope to live, Spacey received medical attention from Cyan. Two of them ignored the chaos in the country and brought her back home as she struggled to breathe. According to him, it looks like we can keep you alive in this state as long as we take care of you. This is basically like I'm a vegetative state, a pained vegetative state. Please don't. I will not return to Hades. I will stay here forever to watch over until your death. Over you until death, sorry. Hearing their voices, Spacey twitched as more Lycoris marks appeared across her skin. Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. Yeah, That's why this is kill me. Ah, goodness, you're alive. It matters not what form you take, so long as you remain alive. That's very selfish of you. Yeah, this time, I promise I won't let you die. Seeing the two in a trance beside her, she opened her mouth and tried to speak with her tongue, now blooming with the Lycoris marks. Hurts. Pain. Please. Kill me. She pleaded to them, but... Oh, that's why it's not a dead end, it's a despair end. No real man would kill the woman he loves. And do you remember what I told you when I confessed to you? She's like, please fucking kill me, I'm in so much agony. He's like, no, that would be cruel. No, they're both really selfish. Damn. I've been looking a long time for a warm place where I can die. Beyond the curse. Beyond 23 years. For decades to come. And there's no one else I want to spend my life with but you. Please be my goddess of death, Spacey. Be with me until I'm old and gray. Until I take my last breath. like, damn. Remember? His wish would now become a reality, not in the form of a promise, but as a curse. He is right, and in order for you to fulfill that promise, you must become this place for him, beyond the curse, beyond 23 years. No matter how much we suffer, I want you to see me grow old and gray. Oh, that was Adolphe, not Anko. Sorry, I read that wrong because Anko showed up, but we'll protect you together and make sure you never die. It was a curse that kept her with them forever, one that promised her a life of endless suffering. Well, damn! Jesus. Okay. Psychos. I mean, you can understand why they're doing it, but... Okay. Here we go. Dead End 2. Way to escape. We need to escape from here as soon as possible and get away from him. We need to find a way to escape together so we can save Nadia. After all, we're the only ones who know Capucine's true identity. You're right. Every second counts. I'll set up an escape plan, so would you mind helping me out? I'm not sure what to do, so I'd be grateful if you could lead the way, Dahut. I'll do anything to save Nadia, Adolphe, and the others. Thank you very much. I'm counting on you to help her out. Yeah, we just said the wrong thing to the wrong person. My opportunity to escape would come when they came to check on me. I'd make a run for it as soon as they brought me to the Institute. Since it would create a diversion, Dahut could make his escape through an underground passage he saw being used by Capucine. He'd then get Adolphe and Anko down into the passage, so he asked me to join them there as well. As much as I wanted to save Adolphe and Anko myself, I knew it couldn't be helped. Time to go to the Institute! Stand up! Stop it, Bird. I followed the guard's orders and came forward. As I looked back at the cell behind mine, I saw Dahut give me a wink. Despite his still being confined, his presence alone was encouraging enough. I'd have fallen for it too. I followed the guard, dragging my chains as I walked. What the? Dahut must have done something as an alarm suddenly went off that blared throughout the area. I used my chains as a weapon and quickly bludgeoned the soldier on the head from behind. Fortunately, the strike was strong enough for the shackle to come off. Like shit, he's got a strong skull breaking chains. I could hear footsteps rushing toward me, so I quickly looked for the way down to the underground passage Dahut told me about. I found an oddly placed tile on the floor and lifted it to discover a ladder leading down a deep hole. I hurriedly climbed down the ladder until I reached... Stop it, Bird. A large underground passage with only the bare minimum light. I never knew there was such a huge passage underneath Arpachel. I wondered what Capucine was using this place for and where he went from here. I looked up the ladder I came down from, but I didn't see Adolphe or Eve coming down. I shouldn't head back up, or I'll just be a burden if something happens. I'll just trust Dahut and wait here until Adolphe and Eve arrive. Let's see. He told me to walk toward the sound of the wind, right? He also said we would use the first open area I reached as our meeting point. As I was down here already, I began to drag my legs through the water and head down the passage. It didn't take long for me to reach a dark area, when suddenly it began to light up. I discovered that I was in a room with equipment different from the Institute's. That now is filled with blood, that fucking hourglass thing. The devices glowed eerily under the light, and in them, a large number of people were trapped inside the capsules as though they were in coffins. Some were slamming against the glass from the inside, and I slowly began to move back. What is this place? I bumped into something behind me. I felt warmth against my back. My heart was pounding with fear as I held it down, gathering the strength to slowly turn around. Welcome to my laboratory, beautiful princess of the Lycrises. With the help of that immortal monster and your foster brother, I can finally destroy that vile death devouring the country. Ugh. They covered my mouth with their hand, preventing me from screaming. I like how it's supporter and like you don't know it's Dahut, but because if you did that beforehand, but we know it is. Now, say farewell to your life as a human. From now on, you'll be trapped in an eternal limbo. You'll live your life as a test subject and become the sacrifice of the sacred foundation of this country's salvation. I feel like if you didn't know that was, like, if you got that one on your own, that should be an indication that trusting Dahut is a bad fucking idea because, you know. Okay. So now we're going to get our last despair end. It was true I couldn't get... Okay, I want to respond to you. Oh, and that was a good answer too, interestingly enough. Huh. Well, the next choice, we create a save file. Oh, I see what you're doing here. I want to respond to you is the right answer to get the salvation end. Okay. I still want to respond to it. Huh? I hadn't gotten a chance to say anything to him, but he was already cutting the conversation short. It really wasn't fair. It's true that, like you said, it's probably not the time to respond now. That doesn't mean I'm gonna just forget what you told me. Okay. I know we can do the skip thing, but you know what? That's... Actually, in this case, it's fine because we go to the choice where we reunite with Anko. We go to the next choice. That's fine. So we get him. We escape. We do our escape. Blah blah blah. We get find Anko's head. Get him. Right. Oh, then we get trapped by Dahut, and then he regenerates his whole body, and now we're here. Anyway. So now we make our save file 5 so that we can get our salvation end when we want to do it later. So this is our next one. So the difference here is our salvation end is saying I want to respond to you and then saying, but we finally reunited. But we're not going to do that because we're doing our despair end. Oh, a cutscene should play once all despair endings for Les Salut are cleared. Uh-huh. So we're going to get our despair end, Eternal Journey. Try to stop him. No, I won't let you stop. Okay, so I'm just going to let this skip through. I'm not going to skip to the end to something different because... So anyway, this is we get the muddy water going through. Flashbacks and everything. Okay. Dahut's given us his backstory. He's blowing up the hole. Hugo's trying to drag people out. He's telling everyone, fuck y'all, I'm gonna kill you, motherfuckers, kind of a thing. Salome's being like, gotta go kill my own kid. That type of a thing. He's like, what do you think would happen if? Well, yes. I mean, valid, but also, you're threatening to kill everyone, everyone's getting on boats, so the technology's getting... You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not helping here. They're all coming up with a plan to bust in. Eternal Journey. So then Adolphe's like, I can't protect her. And Eve's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I mean, I'll do it, but like, Jesus, man, what the hell? And then Adolphe's like, you know what? Fuck you, don't touch my woman. Not exactly how that conversation went. He's like, wait, you're right, I'm in love with her. I'm not giving her to you. And then he's like, you've been lying. You're a bamboozler. And Uncle's like, yeah. I use smoke bombs and then jump behind rocks. I can't believe that she's like, wow, he disappeared. And he's like hiding behind the tiniest rock like, oh, don't see me, don't see me. We're not the brightest crayon in the bulb, like sometimes, you know what I mean? The brightest crayon in the bulb. Right there, that's it. We really aren't though, you know? I don't dislike her, don't get me wrong, but she ain't the brightest crayon. So Anko being like, oh, the wind, and then lumping behind like a rock 2 feet away where we could probably see him if we actually looked. We're like, wow, he disappeared like magic. Okay. And we just like wander away, not even paying attention. Somebody else is standing there like, isn't that dude? Just don't say anything. Just let it go. He's like, shh, don't tell her. I mean, we should have suspected though when he like threw the smoke bomb, grabbed us, and ran away from Salome. You know what I mean? But I mean, there was something in the back of my mind that's like, huh. But I was like, whatever. Like, anyway. So okay, now we're trapped again. Oh, he's got to fight his old master. Right. Okay. So this is like, to be fair, where we should probably not get retrapped in the salvation end, but of course we're going to get retrapped. So, Anka regenerated. Okay, they took down Boro's dad. And now Dahut's doing his little like, no, I guess you're right. And then he does shady shit, and then Salome shows up and is like, time to kill my kid. And then he's like, oh, yeah, mom. And we're like, oh, and then he's like, fuck you, bitch. And we're like, God damn it, Dahut. Every fucking time you restore my faith in you, you have to go fucking ruin it again. And they bamboozled me every time. I trusted him every time. I'm like, oh, see, maybe we could redeem it. Never mind. There he goes being a stabby bastard. Okay, so here's Anko trying to save us again. Salome stabbing clone Dahut. Okay. So same stuff. All right. Anko was brutally stabbing Dahut's dead body. Yeah, okay. Anko took us to the field of flower. Now he's telling us his backstory again. Okay. Like, yeah, we could have cut out like 5 minutes skimming, but it would have stopped at some point and I would have been like, the fuck, where are we? What happened? So this is helpful to kind of keep me on track of where we are. Okay. Spacey called for Adolphe, but it wasn't him. It was the Watchman of Death. Okay, so that was like... Okay, so this is... I wanted to see you again. Okay, so... Anyway, Spacey called for Adolphe, but it wasn't him. It was the Watchman of Death. It was then that Adolphe finally realized Unco's true identity. Ah. You're me. From a future where Spacey passed away. A future that Adolphe may have reached. He immediately understood that possibility, but he still wouldn't allow her to die with him. Just let Spacey go, Anko. It doesn't matter who you are. I can't let her die like this. And what do you propose? Are you going to try and heal her needlessly just to keep her alive? We did that in an ending and it was awful. Do you plan on dooming her to pain worse than death? You both did that. Don't act like you innocent. Is that your way of truly saving the girl you fell in love with? No. There's another way. Adolphe managed to voice a sliver of hope that had just come to mind. This is a long shot, but I'm thinking of taking her outside the country to look for a doctor who can treat her. You'll never find a scientist elsewhere who can surpass Cyan. We'll never know unless we take action now. I won't give up on her yet. I haven't gotten her to reply to my confession. Could you imagine the spin-off series of, like, these two chuckle fucks in a raft with me, and then we go and we find another country that heals me, and now I'm, like, living with my boyfriend and his future self, and they hate each other, but I love them both, because how can I choose between boyfriend A and B when they're both the same fucking person? And it's, like, gonna be a seriously fucked up comedy. It's, like, the weirdest buddy cop ever. Well... If it's to save Spacey, I'll cling to any hope I can possibly find. And don't ever regret what you just said. Uncle lifted Spacey in his arms and handed her over to Adolphe. Aw. Uncle looked on as she breathed with pain, knowing a new despair awaited in their future. Oh, well. Half a year later... Oh, this doesn't look good. No miracle had occurred. Every doctor we met said she couldn't be cured. Oh, okay, I'm assuming we're supposed to be a Dolphin. Every doctor we met said that she couldn't be cured. The only option was to extend her life. With no other place to go, we ended up on the shores of an unknown country with only pain to share among us. Hurts. Please kill me. She kept pleading to me in silence. I hope you can finally see what you've done. The watchman of death mercilessly spoke to me from behind. She lay limp in my arms. No, he really did go with us, though. I mean, it's a despair end, so. Anyone alive does not always mean you've saved them. If you do not want her to suffer any longer, then you must kill her. Hearing the words I spoke, I drew out the dagger she gave me and raised it into the air with both hands. My hand shook violently. Couldn't do it. Just as I was about to let go of the dagger. Oh, Faye. Thank you. What had I done? I didn't wish for a miracle to happen just so I could hear her thank me in a voice filled with despair. Or I could say anything. I swung my arms down and drove the blade through her chest. That doesn't sound like despair and eternal journey. That sounds like a dead end, but sure. A single blow. The moment she asked for it. He is doing a mercy killing, though. I can't blame him for it. Because it hurts him more than it does us. We've been in pain for 6 fucking months. Girl I loved. I quickly brought an end to her and our time together. We brought an end to her and our times together. Okay, yeah, that sounds better if I read it right. Killed her. I really killed her. And in the worst way possible, with her heart full of despair. Spacey. 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 Spacey! Sorry. What have I done to you? No matter how much I cried out to her with regret, she would never return to me. Second drifter. Unko put his hand on my shoulder as I cried. Now they understand each other and they're one and the same. Do you have the strength left to return to your homeland? Of course not. Black blood flowed out of Spacey as I held her hand. I won't go anywhere. I'm gonna stay by Spacey until I die. We'll rot here together. Just like how she chose the Lycoris field as the place she would die. That's why it's eternal journey. He's just gonna sit here forever, waiting to die, and it's never gonna happen. I made my decision, here and now. And this is where I choose to die. This is my punishment for forcing her to live through pain. What I did for her wasn't anything close to salvation. I only prolonged Spacey's suffering. Again and again I ignored her silent pleas for me to release her from life. Disregarded her request. Well, it was only fitting and that I died too. I don't have the right to follow her where she went. Unko accepted my resolve with gloom. Bothered me ever since you two found your way closer to the truth. And now I realize that Adolphe is a man who can do nothing, no matter the effort. He's simply a normal human, powerless to protect the girl he loves. You don't have to rub it in, Unko, Jesus! But, depending on your choice, you can still see her again and try to save her. Unko's like, you can become me! And then, but then there's then there's an Adolphe and 2 Uncos? Say to that. What? The Watchman of Death presented me with the sweet fruit known as a miracle. Oh my god, we get another CG. And the technology to leap through time. In other words, by stealing that device and following the same path that led to it, then I can go back and see Spacey alive again? Yes. But should you fail, she may be plummeted into even greater despair. Or we have to think that then this Adolphe goes back, becomes the new Unko, And that's when we get our salvation ends. So original Onko, sorry, Onko 2.0 is better. So you have Adolphe who turned into Onko, who then goes back and talks to new Adolphe that is not the same one that he stemmed from, and then becomes new Onko, who goes back, and that's how I get my salvation. This is getting a little crazy. I know that's not it, but like, Jesus, that's insane. Yeah. One other thing. It's not as easy as it sounds. You truly know what it means to live and experience the same future I did. This technology was developed hundreds of years from now, during which time I was experimented on gruesomely and became an undead monster. Yeah, but Adolphe's already been experimented on and is kind of undead. An existence that cannot die. And if I wished, even if you can endure the despair and solitude and find your way back to the past, you'll lose your appearance as a human, which means she'll no longer see you as Adolphe. Adolphe she adores will exist outside of you in that future. Anko is basically turning Adolphe into Anko, and this is so fucking weird. She'll never understand nor accept your feelings as Anko. Yeah, Anko doesn't get any happy endings. I hope he does in the fan disc, you know? Come on. Do you truly have the courage to taste such despair? Of course. I have no doubts in my mind. It's fine as long as it means I can save Spacey. After I save her, it doesn't matter if she's standing next to someone other than me. No, it shouldn't be me. At the very least, Adolphe was not fit to become a hero to Spacey. There had to be a better fate available for her. Very well. I will entrust you with my role as Watchman of Death to guide her. What's going to happen to original Anko? And what are you going to do? Yeah, seriously, what are you going to do? I have seen her die in front of me twice now. I am at my limit. Before my soul is crushed any further, I wish to bring an end to my life. With that, Anko took out some kind of iron weapon to kill himself with and pointed it at his heart. But his decision was without much meaning, so let me help. Not suicide if you kill your future self. Is it? Is this known as murder? Or is this like a murder-suicide? Moved away from Spacey and faced Anko, his eyes filled with despair. I'm you, aren't I? Which means that you're not going to be able to pull the trigger. I don't doubt that you want to die, but you're still hesitating about it because you want to see her again. You've been through this again and again, dragging yourself deeper into despair. This is like the nicest conversation they've ever had with themselves. I didn't like him, but I was him, so I understood how he felt. You're right. It's like you know exactly what I went through. I already hate how much I care about her. So, then leave the rest to me. I took the weapon out of Anko's hand and wrapped my finger around the trigger. My target was his chest, which held his desperation for both life and death. My fault you had to feel despair twice. I'll kill you and your regrets at once. I appreciate it. Leave her in your hands. May there be hope in your eternal journey. This is why it's a despair end, because, like, Adolphe's all alone now. I saw of Anko as he met his end and crumbled into ashes. I then went to Spacey and held her hand as she slept. Dad? I'll come get you. Just you wait, Spacey. No matter how many times this despair repeats itself, I promise I will save you in the end. Oh. This must be a cutscene. I will will see Spacey alive again. Because it started to be the end, so. I want to see Spacey alive. Spacey isn't alive. Is this like Adolphe becoming Onco 2.0? Oh fuck, I forgot that the music was like cranked. Spacey still isn't born yet. Why am I in a place like this, suffering so much pain all alone? Why? 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 Can't scream anymore. There's been a lot of screaming and a lot of Dahed voice, so I don't want to be alone anymore. If I have to keep feeling this burning pain out here, I'd rather die and escape it. But still, I want to see you alive. And the game starts all over again. Like Adolphe / Ongo. Oh. Oh, it's come full circle. But now this is the Adolphe that killed Onko and now he's back as This is a loop that my brain can't handle, Jesus. Nice to meet you, fair lady of death. I am the Watchman of Death, Onko. Come from Hades to propose a contract, the beautiful princess grieving over a recent tragedy. If you satisfy my terms, I will make sure that you're reborn as a normal girl. Finally reunited. I'll let you die on me again. Ever. Will protect you this time. Even if it means that I kill my very own self. Got in the way of your salvation before. Should we be concerned that Adolphe is gonna fucking die? Oh. Oh. I don't think we didn't get any new Unco CGs. So we still have 2 left. We got some new Adolphe CGs for this. Actually, we only got this one. So there's 2 in the Salvation Ends, though. Because we only got this one. With him being tragic and sad over our death. And then him there, like, the one that's now the title card. Which is not going to be the title card when we go back. So that was basically it. But, like... We need, like... We need this one. We need them together. This is the only one of them together. Like, it really is, isn't it? Like... It's the only one of them together, and it's like... But, like, you know, in the Salvation... Although we don't know in the Salvation End which CG is going to be better. Is it going to be an Adolphe CG? Is it going to be an Onco CG? We really don't. So... That's a hard decision, you know what I mean? Like... It's like... These endings were like... You know... I feel like Adolphe deserves like a really beautiful, like Anko had a really pretty CG, and all of Adolphe's CGs are a little tragic and sad. They're beautiful, but they're sad, and this one's kind of ridiculous with them fighting with each other. So. Fighting with themselves. Yeah. So that was all the Despair Ends. We're done, guys. We've got nothing but the Salvation Ends. I'm sure they're not going to be like happy, but they can't be any worse than what we've played. So like it's gotta go uphill from here. I have no idea if we are going to do... I'm going to assume we have to do... I don't know. Do we have to do the Salvation End? I know we have to finish all the tragic ends. forces you to play all the despair ends before completing Act 3. Clear all the despair ends for Mathis, Lucas, and okay, eat. Possible to access all the good ends until you finish Act 3, which is all the bad tragic ends. I mean, that's all it says. So, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, it sounds like we just have to do the bad ends and we can come back and finish, like, Adolphe's / Anko's salvation end at the end. But in the guide, it also has the salvation end, and then congrats, you can now play all the salvation ends for the rest of the route. So, like, do we just have to play all the bad ends, and then you can go back so we can start Mathis, Lucas, Cyan, Eve, and then Adolphe, or do we have to do this one for, I don't know. So I don't know what we're going to do next. I'm not sure if I'm going to take a little break between all of this and then play a route in our other game and then come back and then do all the salvation ends. Or if I'm going to do all the I have no idea. And so I don't know. Because I'm not going to record it, like, right now anyway. It's not going to be till at least tomorrow or maybe a week or two. Who knows? Not sure. Haven't decided. But we'll see when I get here for the next part if we start and we do this one first or we Mathis and loop around and go back in the order. You know. I don't know. Because if we're not going to go in order, then I might save Cyan for last, because he's my favorite, so... And I guess the salvation ends don't really matter, to be fair, so... Anyway, we will start the salvation ends in the next part. Don't know whose we're going to do first, though, so that'll be a surprise for everybody. Anyway, I will see you next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.